What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Heat and Soul Podcast. Make sure to subscribe down low, hit the follow button, and we have a very special guest with us today. But before we hop into that, let's go ahead and pray over the podcast. Lord God, Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for everything you blessed us with. Thank you that we had the opportunity to have Coach Spell here with us. We pray for his family. We pray for my family. Everybody know Jesus loves you, and in your name, in the Lord's name, we pray. Amen. All right. So
Amen.
I have Coach Spell here. How are you doing today, Coach?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm good. So this was like a quick thing. I asked him, what was it? Was it Monday? And today's Wednesday. I asked him. I was like, hey, would you like to be on a podcast? So we played them actually this past Saturday up in
Correct.
Chicago and Naperville. And I was like,
Correct.
so we kind of connected with each other's Instagrams. So I was like, hey, would you like to be on a podcast? So today is Wednesday. So we kind of got this one. We got this one knocked out quick.
Yeah. I appreciate the invite. Like I said, anything I can do to help. I definitely enjoy you're inspiring to watch as a
Thank you.
player. So I can only imagine all the hard work that you put into your play and anything else that you do.
Thank you so
It's
much.
probably above and beyond. No problem.
Thank you. No, but he is a coach, the sophomore coach at Whitney Young High School, if I'm not mistaken, and he is also a Team Rose 3 SBB coach. You're the 2027 coach.
Three FSB
3 SB.
2027.
Yes.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Adidas program, Team Rose. So what is
Mhm.
it like coaching a Adidas team? What is it like coaching on the circuit? What is it like?
So first of all, once again, like I said, thank you for having me here, Clinton. It's like an honor for you to be asked to come on your platform. But to be honest, every game, every opportunity that you're able to play, is looked at as almost like a job interview, if you will. Every game is a championship, right? You got players such as yourself that are really tough, maybe an underdog or, maybe you never heard of, and they have a mission, and their mission is to knock down any name in front of them.
Yep.
Whether a program has a reputation or not, or a city may have a reputation or not. There are tough kids out there on every level, shoe program or not shoe program. They're looking to get their names up. At the end of the day, guys want to build catalog, and they want to be represented properly. They want to get noticed. So yeah, that's what it's like, kind of coaching on the circuit, whether it's Under Armour, whether it's Adidas, whether it's a swoosh, any of those circuits, every game, you kind of look at it as it could be your last.
Yes.
Because every game is essentially like a championship game. So it's very, very intense, very, very intense. Every possession, every bucket,
Everything matters at that point in basketball. Everything matters.
That is correct. That is correct.
There's scholarships on the line. There's college coaches looking at you.
Absolutely.
So that's true. I kind of look at the game now as like, especially getting older, like what makes me as a teammate, like what can I do to be a good teammate? Like how is a scout gonna watch the game? You see, like that's what I've told people, and like that's kind of how I look at the game, how I like what is gonna make me get to the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny you say that because first of all, kudos to you, because I think IQ wise, cerebrally, you're like a little bit ahead of the game, because young players really understand that, it's not just on the court, it's off the court as well. I know myself, when I'm identifying talent, I'm looking at them on the bench, their body language, even after the game, how they're, speaking to their opponent, how they're speaking to the team, how they're speaking to the coach, what they do after a turnover, what they do after a mistake, what they do after when their teammates make a mistake. Those are all intangibles that most coaches look at, when you're looking at the totality of a kid, not just how they play, but their character as well. Because, there's like thousands and thousands of players, right? Some of them can dribble, pass, and shoot. Some of them dribble and shoot, right? And some of them can do everything, right? Rebound, defend, etc. But what are they like off the court, right? That's really the separator for a lot of young players in that assignment. So
Yeah. No, I have, and I respect your team. Your team plays very physical, hard,
appreciate
fast, and I feel like in those type of environments, that's when I play best. When because it did get a little chippy there. When,
that.
when
Got a little
me
tip.
and 11 kind of got in the headbutting match,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
no,
yeah.
but you guys play really physical, and I really respect your team.
I appreciate that. And so that kid is named Tobias Banks, who you're referring to, is his name. We call him Susu here in Chicago. Very, very tough kid, very tough player from the west side of Chicago. And, he's looked at as one of our better guards here in the city and the state in his age group, top 10 to be exact. And a lot of players back down to him
Yeah,
when he plays real tough. And I remember one play specifically. I don't know if he laid it up or you laid it up. Something happened, and essentially he kind of got in your face, and you got back in his face, and I was like, wow, this kid got some moxie to him, because normally like you said, we're real physical. We'll punk teams,
yeah.
so to speak, if you will. We'll out tough them. I'll say that. I don't want to say punk. We'll out tough teams,
Well,
and
that's the truth, y'all punk them. I'm not. Listen, we're
they'll
real here. I completely
Yeah, but
understand.
I don't really want to, speak like that and
I know what you
disrespect
mean.
an opponent. But yeah, we'll definitely get the best out of guys in our play and how we play. We kind of intimidate them, if you will. And you just didn't back down, and I was impressed. And as I was watching the game, things were happening kind of off of your play, right? Whether it's the emotion, whether it's the motor. So I think like midway through the first half, I just said to my coaches, I said, "Hey, we got to get the ball out of his hands because anything that happens is happening off of you." So I mean, as you saw, we pretty much trapped you,
Yeah,
tried to get the ball out of your
the rest
hands.
of it. Yeah.
I pretty much had one of my younger guys kind of get in your face a little bit. I didn't one thing I never promote is any type of like extraness. I call it like
Oh yeah.
we don't fight or anything.
No,
Or
no,
we
no.
try not to disrespect anybody. But those guys will like they're kind of like dog off the leashes. Like think of like 12 U's like like just tough, really tough
Yep.
kids that and they come from whatever background they come from, and they're kind of outlets on the court, right? So they get to leave it out on the line, and that's we try to play the right way, but when we do play the right way, we play with a little grit too, right? With
Oh
chips
no,
on the
I
shoulder.
completely respect that. I completely respect that.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah,
mean, I feel like in those type of environments, that brings the best out of me as a player. Like playing rough, not playing rough, but physical, getting back. Because I mean, I got a big frame, so I like to use it sometimes. I like to use my frame, so it's nice to have those type of environments to play in, and I like playing against teams because I like playing physical matchups. I like playing with dudes my size physically, so it's really cool. And then I got a question for you. What are your favorite parts of coaching, like overall?
Oh,
It doesn't
so
have to be
what
in the
I
it doesn't have to be in the
no, go ahead.
circuit. It doesn't have to be in high school. Like, oh, just overall, what do you enjoy about coaching?
So I don't know if you paid attention. I'm a real passionate coach.
Oh yeah,
When I'm on the side, I'm passionate. I'm a grassroots guy, so to speak. But to answer your question, full on, it's inspirational when you get, once every blue moon, you'll get a couple kids or a group of kids who kind of buy into you as a coach. And, I don't ask for anything in return except for effort, hard work, and just to respect the game that I love, right? So getting the satisfaction of seeing a kid go all the way through and achieve, some of the things, whether it's small wins, big wins, even when they fall back in between life happenings and adversity, and then they succeed. That's one of the biggest things for me is when I see that kid accomplish his goals,
and
right?
his dreams, aspirations.
Absolutely, absolutely. And a lot of, the generic thing is, I want to make the NBA, which is nothing wrong with the association, but there's also realistic things, right? Some kids just want to be able to dribble with their left hands
That is
better,
true.
at the end of the summer. So if I see a kid who at the beginning of the summer he couldn't shoot, to the end of the summer, now he's shooting like 30, 45% from the field. He's taking more shots and his confidence is there, or he wasn't able to dribble before, or maybe he had the ability to, but he didn't have the confidence to, if that makes sense. And at the end of the summer, we're seeing them doing that. So seeing that growth and acknowledging that growth uh, is like huge for me. And then, just the energy. Like I love the game of basketball. It's like poetry to me. It's, the rhythms, the flows, the terminology, the
Yeah.
camaraderie, So all that stuff wrapped into one is what wakes me up every day, and the excitement to go and coach the game of basketball that we love. And to see those young guys like yourself, 13, 14 years old, 15, out there putting it all on the line and really competing. It's impressive. These kids, like you had a 6'9" kid on your team. And I was just like, golly, like, I mean, it's amazing,
Yeah.
what you guys eat. And you're this thick big kid, and you're like 6 foot. And I mean, if when I was in 8th grade, I don't remember kids being that big. You know what I mean? So I don't know, just always finding a new kid, meeting new kids, meeting new players, new people. All of that stuff is a part of coaching, right?
Yeah.
It all inspires me. So yeah,
Yeah. I mean, one day, like when I'm off the court, like when my ball stops bouncing, because everybody has a time in life when their ball stops bouncing. And
absolutely.
I assume you played at some point. You look like you
I
hooped a
did.
little bit. Not
I
yeah,
did. I played a little bit, not
yeah,
a lot. Played a little bit. Played a little
yeah.
bit. Yeah, I played a little
Um,
bit.
but when my ball stops bouncing, I mean, I hope to be back on the hardwood at some place, somewhere, somewhere, maybe in the coaching seat, head coaching seat. That'd be really cool because I love the game. I don't ever want to stop playing, but I know at some point my ball is gonna stop bouncing, and I'm gonna have to find something to do. So hopefully,
Absolutely.
coaching would be there. Hopefully, an opportunity would roll up for that. But no, but
Absolutely.
what? Give us a little background on you. Where did you play?
Yeah, so the great question. So I started out in Chicago. I'm originally from Chicago. I'm not sure how familiar you are with the AAU programs here, but before there was an Adidas circuit, there was a Nike circuit, all that stuff. There was Small Fry, and then obviously AAU, and then so on and so forth. So I played small fry basketball up
Okay.
into AAU basketball. I played for Washington Park Reds, Washington Park Jaguars on the
Okay.
small fry side. Then I played for Ferrari. I don't know if
Okay.
you're familiar you are with Chicago Ferrari, but I played for
Uh-uh.
Ferrari and then the Chicago Jaguars as well. And then on the high school side, I played at Whitney Young, where I coach at currently.
Okay.
I played at Whitney Young High School from '03 to '07.
So you're back
Played
where
there.
you're back where you started, or you're back where you.
Back where I started. Back where I
Okay.
started. Back where I started. Um, got to college at Tennessee State University. Pretty much realized that I wasn't going to be an association player. I did get opportunities to play overseas. I got 2 opportunities to play in Mexico City. A lot of people don't know that. But I denied them, stuck to the books, and ultimately just kind of got out of there at Tennessee State University with a degree.
Okay.
I initially started coaching in 2011. I started training first, and then I started coaching right after that. I met a gentleman by the name of Jamal Richardson, and he kind of brought me into the game out in Nashville. We got together, and I mean, he gave me an opportunity. I mean, I've always had this passion for it. I've always played competitively. Played against some big names, played with some big names. Was blessed to meet a lot of great people over the course. So I kind of got my name early on, elementary school, high school wise. Like I was, early on. I don't want to say ranked, but I was one of the names in
You were the guy.
Chicago.
You were one of the guys.
One of them, right? I
One of
was
the
one
dudes.
of them early on, right?
Okay.
And then when it got to, we got higher in high school, kind of the separation happened, right? Yeah, so that's about me. So grammar school, high school is where my history was. College is where it ultimately stopped, where I made the hard decision that, my dream wasn't gonna be there. So let me get into kind of the work world and the books. And the doors opened back up for me on the basketball side. And I mean, here I am. I mean, this beautiful ride since 2011. It's 2023 now. I look back and it's amazing.
Well, it's
So,
super cool to see it all come full circle. I bet too,
oh,
because
absolutely.
you know, you
Absolutely.
stopped and now you're coaching a top Adidas program. I mean, to be honest, so you're coaching. I mean, you're coaching a high school. You're coaching at your alma mater. So
Mhm.
that's super cool.
Absolutely.
That is super
Absolutely.
cool.
It's a blessing.
Congratulations.
Appreciate you. It's a blessing for sure. It's a
Oh
blessing.
yes. And then everybody says Chicago basketball is like real physical. So like, what
Yeah.
do you think separates Chicago basketball from basketball around the country? Like from East Coast to West Coast to the middle. Like, what do you think separates Chicago basketball?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. So we've always had a reputation of being like a real hard-nosed town, if you will, dating back as far as I could remember, man, to when I was your age. We had some of the most gritty and tough guys, I mean, in the country. I will say, the talent was more like on the higher scale than it is now. We still have a lot of talent, but back then when I was your age, we had Sean Livingston, Dwayne Wade,
Oh yeah.
Eddie Curry, Will Bynum, Tony Allen. I mean, the list could go on. We had a lot of NBA pros came through at the same time, like in the same
Yeah.
cluster, and the talent level was just astronomical, right? Whereas now the toughness is still there, the grittiness is still there, the it, if you will, the I'm not going, as the kids like to say. That's Chicago in a nutshell. We're very very tough. As you saw, we press a lot.
Yep.
It's not just about the basic 2-2-1, but we'll go all the way to the out of bounds line, and
Oh
we'll
yeah.
press for
You
30
use
minutes
that.
straight.
You use that out of bounds line as your extra defender.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, as you saw against you guys,
Yep.
we pretty much oppressed the entire game, and
Yep.
we'll really test your gut, regardless if you're a name, if you're ranked, if you're whatever. We'll go into that thing head on. It's kind of like I don't know if you're familiar with Patrick Beverly, but
Oh no, I love
Pat,
P Bev.
Pat Beverly is like the epitome of that, right? He's one of those guys who kind of quote unquote came from the mud, if you will, Marshall High School. Was, I mean, just a tough kid,
He was
very
tough in high
talented.
school. People don't realize that. What he
Oh,
averaged in high school, he was so tough in high school.
oh, oh, it's ridiculous. Oh, it's ridiculous. You have no idea. He doesn't get his proper flowers at all, honestly, because I mean, you're talking about once again around that time there were so many names and so many guys. You got your Sharon Collins, you got your Jerome Randalls, of course, Derrick Rose.
Yeah, D
and
Rose coming up. Yeah,
yeah,
we didn't
right,
even talk about D
exactly.
Rose.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna let you bring him up because that's
Yeah.
that's kind of like, that kind of comes with it, right? Derrick Rose, I mean, to me, Derrick Rose, arguably, I know a lot of people like to say Ben Wilson, but I didn't see Ben Wilson, right? I was like a baby. I
Okay.
was blessed to play alongside Derrick Rose. I was blessed to play against Derrick Rose. I was blessed to see his maturation, and to me, um, in my opinion, Derrick Rose is the best thing to ever come through here.
Okay.
And that's including Isaiah Thomas, Tim Hardaway, Will Bynum, respectfully, Sharon Collins, like all these guys who are like legends in this game of basketball. To me, Derrick Rose is one of one.
When I was talking to one of my good friends, Vic Lloyd, which I'm sure Chicago, you know, he said
Big Lloyd is the staple. Shouts out to Vic. Salute.
Yeah. He said Derek would sell out everything. It didn't even matter. It was
So yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
no, you're
Derek
good.
Derek was like he was the last of that field, if you will, because before him, like I said, you had Pat Beverly, you had Will Bynum, you had
D Wade.
Sharon Collins, you had Dwayne Wade, you had Sean Livingston, you had Jerome Randall, Kevin Garnett, all like even way back, Ronnie Fields, all these people, Shannon Brown, D Brown, all these people, Luther Head. I could go on and on and on. And we had these tournaments and these games, and they would be packed, right?
Yep.
Will Bynum versus Sean Dockery, standing room only, pack, 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 pack. And there was like Derrick Rose used to single handedly do that,
He was
with
just he was
respect.
just one of his own kind. Like nope,
Absolutely.
nothing touched him.
And also though, with respect to the program, like Simeon's just a phenomenal program. You know, he had phenomenal players around him. Because right after that, you know, you got your Jabari Parker and you know your Kendrick Nuns. You know that Simeon was a dynasty. You know, but Derrick Rose is like something you probably won't ever see again. You know that. I mean, and even NBA pros talk about this. There's interviews of NBA pros just talking about how they used to fake injuries when, you know, they knew they were playing Derrick Rose. So, I mean, it's just something you would never see again. Like I said, I'm just super blessed that I was ever able to share the same court as the guy. Still a great guy. He's a friend. You know, always shows love when he sees me. So, and I will always do that to him too because he's a legend of this game to me, especially in our city.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about we named off a ton of players that have come out of Chicago and played in Chicago.
Absolutely.
Because the next thing I was gonna hop into is so Darius, I was scrolling down your page, and you seem to be good friends with Darius Garland. So can you walk us through the DG now he's playing in Cleveland? Can you
Yeah,
walk us
yeah,
through
yeah,
that?
for sure, for sure. Shouts out to Book. Darius is he's a family member. He's not just a friend. Darius is a family member. I first saw Darius when he was in sixth grade. Like I said, a gentleman by the name of Jamal Richardson, when I was in Nashville, Tennessee, blessed me with my opportunity to coach in 2011, 2012. And around that time, you know, we were on the circuit, we were on the AU circuit because we had a team called Team Brandon Wright, Team Be Right. And, you know, we were bumping into kids, seeing kids, and man, we would see this kid on a team called We All Can Go, WACG. I think they're on the Adidas circuit now, actually. But at the time, they weren't on any type of shoe circuit. And
Okay.
this little tiny kid, you know, I mean, he had broad shoulders, long arms. I mean, he was a tiny little dude though, and he wasn't real fast, but he was quick and he was super shifty. And I mean, he could shoot the skin off the ball. He had an older man's game. He had a high IQ. He had all these like dribble moves and all that. And you know, we call him Maul. Maul's like, "Hey, spell this kid here, man. Like, you know, he's tough." And, well, okay, cool. I like him, and he's pop up here and there. But at the time, he was living in Gary, Indiana, and then
Oh,
yeah, he actually moved to Nashville, Tennessee. He and his family, and that's where I was introduced to him. I actually bumped into him at that point in time. I think he was in like seventh or eighth grade when we initially crossed paths. You know, I'll never forget the first time he spoke to me. He was showing love. You know, I think, like I said, seventh, eighth grade. He didn't know me from a can of paint, right? He just showed up. Wow, Spirit, like that. Because in Nashville, myself and Jamal, we were heavy on the training side, and we were heavy on the basketball circuit. And then, we just kept in contact. I was blessed to be around him and his family. We were in the gym consistently, and you know, we shared a lot of times together in that gym. And just being around the game and just talking about the game and learning the game, and you know, saw him go from a 6 dribble move combo to a 1 to 2 dribble move combo, right? And
yep.
myself and Jamal Richardson kind of took his like mentors to him. And even though he had older brothers, shouts out to McGill, shouts out to Dez. But yeah, he kind of took us in as brothers and family. And I used to be at every damn near every last one of his games, not all of them,
Yep.
but damn near every last one of his games. On that front row, either coaching them up or cheering them on, whichever
Oh, I
one.
saw that. He had that. Listen, I looked on your Instagram page. I saw that. Yeah. He had that.
Yeah,
He stole the ball and had that and one. Yep. I saw
yeah,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah. And that's just a snapshot. Like we were there from early on when he was a
Oh,
shorty. We were doing the same things, and watching him on the EYBL circuit and going through the business of it all. And I like to say, Darius actually kind of grew me up in my awareness from a coaching standpoint, from how the business of this game moves. Just watching him being an All-American point guard and
yep.
his growth and his work ethic and what it should look like from a grassroots level. That kid loves the game. His father talks about when he was like 2, 3 years old. and they used to have like a Fisher Price rim, and he used to like make up plays in the living room and kind of act them out with his dad. And those. I mean, I can go on and on about DG, but yeah, I was just blessed to kind of be a part of this journey. And I talked to him recently here. Like we obviously he's an association player now, but he's still a regular guy. He'll tell you. I'm just a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? Like he's so humble, and he's passionate about the game. But I can go on and on about that bump. I can still beat him in ones. DG, when you see this, you know what it is. No, but I love him to death. That's one of the best guards now to me in the association. Obviously I'm biased, but I'm just very proud of him.
I think he's one of the best young guards and one of the best young teams in the league.
No, absolutely.
It was disappointing how they went down in the playoffs this year, but they're still a really young team. They have a young Evan Mobley. They have a nice front court. They have a nice front court and him and Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. They have a nice backcourt too. I'll give you that too.
Absolutely.
And Donovan Mitchell. That's a nice backcourt right there.
Yeah, shouts out to their front office who made that move to have Donovan and DG needed help because if you think about it, I don't know if you paid attention. Last year they lost in playing games. They were right there on the cusp of winning and getting into the playoffs. So this year they progressed, got to the first round. So they're progressing inch by inch. They got, like you said, they're a young group. They got the pieces. They're just putting it together. DG had to put a lot on his back last year, and he's making milestones this year. Donovan is a phenomenal player. He's a superstar almost in my mind. But Darius has a long journey. He's only going to get better, and that's what makes it scary. So
yeah, for sure. And then to leave you off with, what is your best AAU or like you being on the circuit because you've coached for so many years? What is your best story that you have from the circuit? Is it like a close game, a game winner? Like walk us through it.
As a fan or as a coach? Because I've seen some things.
Give us the one as a coach. Give us as a coach.
Or even as a player, because like I said, I played in some big games too. So I'll say one that I remember watching. Okay. I remember watching. I'll talk about a Darius Garland game. Okay. How about that?
Because we're on that topic.
We're here, right? We're here. Myself and once again Jamal Richardson. We were in Atlanta as an EYBL session. All of these names are here. Marvin Bagley. All these names, they were just big. And at the time, I don't know, are you familiar with the name RJ Barrett?
Oh, yeah, the Knicks. He was the number one player in the country at one point. Yeah.
Correct. Number one player in the country. He had just reclassed up to Darius's to his age bracket. And then they initially moved up. So Marvin Bagley had reclassed up, and then RJ Barrett reclassed up because Marvin and Darius were in the same class. Marvin reclassed, and RJ Barrett reclass. So myself and Jamal, we were at the game and this EYBL session in Atlanta, and it's all lined up now. Bradley Billy versus UPlay Canada on the EYBL. And how I coach, but I'm on the side talking crazy. I'm talking.
Oh no, you were talking crazy to me. You told me I couldn't dribble.
If I'm talking to you, it's because I respect you. And
I know. I didn't take it personal. Don't worry about that.
A lot of people get that misconstrued because if I'm speaking to you, I'm trying to get you out of your game.
Listen, I completely understand it. No, as a basketball player, no.
Yeah. I would never
I completely and I respect it too. I respect it.
Yeah, I would never come at a kid.
No.
Personally, I'm an adult, right? I'm not about to attack a kid and try to bring him down, right?
Oh no. You're trying to get me out my game. I'm not stupid. I knew exactly what you were trying to do. Listen, I was over there in your guys' conversation. You had a you had a right. All right.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I'm talking. I get on the court. I'm talking, and we're on the side. Is this a warm-up line? Is this RJ Barrett, the RJ Barrett, the number one player in the country? I'm not a believer. I don't believe him at all. He had to show me. We call him Boog. He got to show us. I'm talking to DG. He got to show us. We not believers, and this is online and all that, you know. And man, I mean, Darius, he went completely nuts. I think he had like 36 and like 12 or something like that. And I mean, RJ still had his like 21, 24 or something like that. They ended up winning. Bradley Elite ended up winning by like 20 points. My point is, the reason why it was so memorable is because the stage was set, you know, and the cameras and all the colleges were around. They came to
Probably find
see
this video on
RJ.
YouTube.
Yeah, no, it's on YouTube. I'll send it to you actually.
Oh, you gotta send that one to me.
Yeah, the stage was set and all this stuff, and you know, he's the name. And at the time, you know, Darius obviously is one of the better guards in the country, but he still wasn't like the clear number one guy from a point guard standpoint, you know. And yeah, and we just felt like he was getting disrespected, especially since this young guy reclasses up and he's Steve Nash's godson and all this other stuff. And we're just like
especially being from Canada, so
yeah, exactly. And I'm from Chicago, DG's from Gary. You know, we just kind of we're like cousins, if you will. We just kind of got like that grit once again. We're going back to that basketball piece. And we're just talking. We're barking at RJ Barrett, just barking at him. You know, kudos to him. He was very professional about it. He would, you know, he would smile, he would smirk. You know, just like you. When I was talking, you was clapping it up, you was smiling. You know what I mean? Like you weren't doing too much. You was like, okay, I'll take that on, you know. And that's kind of how RJ was. But yeah, DG just ripped that team apart, man. It was kind of bad, you know, but I mean, I just love that memory because that spoke to how he's overcome so much, whether it's injury or whatever. But I don't want to keep talking about that bum. I know you're trying to wrap it up and all that stuff. That was a good memory. Darius Garland is a bum. I love him.
It's funny how you call him a bum. He's gonna see this and be like, nah, we gotta play one sometime soon.
That's my guy. That's my guy for sure.
No, definitely. But where can they find you guys at on Instagram? Your personal social media and the you can shout out your high school too. Your program you coach for?
No, for sure. Whitney Young High School, WY Slaughterhouse is the Instagram. You look up Slaughterhouse and you'll see WY Slaughterhouse is the Instagram. My Instagram is @_SPELL. I'm @_spell. Yeah, Team Rose 3SSB is the Team Rose Instagram. You know, you can find all of our programs, and you know, we're around the country. We got Rock Hill, South Carolina coming up July 8th. You know, for the Nationals, the Junior 3 SSB Nationals. In the month of June, Whitney Young, you know, we'll be playing summer ball. We have some summer leagues coming up. It's just very exciting times. Very, very exciting times. So thank you. Thank you for
no, thank you. I love to compete with you guys.
No, for sure. We got to get it in again. Cause I don't know if you know, but we played Gore in the championship and we just ran out of gas. We got beat up on.
I saw.
Man. Yeah, we ran out of gas because were you there for the triple overtime game in the semifinals?
No, I was not.
Yeah, we played in a triple overtime game against the OSA Crusaders and beat them, and then 40 minutes later had to play Gore.
But they beat that Gore team.
OSA Crusaders beat that Gore team, and so I was telling the coach at Gore, I was like, "You guys won. I never take that away from you. I would just like to play you when we're fresh, if you don't mind." You know, because he was trying to say like we played 3 games too. I'm like, yeah, you did, absolutely.
But you
So
didn't
once
play
again,
4 overtimes.
but right, it was 3 overtimes, literally 40 minutes right before, and then we had to play Gore. So yeah, my guys were done. You know, my guys not take away from that Gore team.
No, they're a good team. If you ever need a white kid to help you beat them, heading over here in Indy.
Did you see my big kid, Jacob Fuller, my tall 6'6" kid?
Oh yeah, the dude. You say you can shoot it in the parking lot.
He can. But yeah, but go ahead. Yeah, I'll definitely give you a call. We'll keep in touch, man. I appreciate you, Clinton.
No, for sure. Listen, good luck on the rest. Good luck with high school, bro. Good luck with high school, coach. High school is gonna be exciting this year.
It is.
Yeah, it's gonna be very exciting.
Good luck to you too.
Thank you so much.
I understand you're playing varsity out of grammar school. That's a huge thing. You're a tough kid. You got the right mentality, a great IQ. I think you'll succeed. You keep on keeping on, keep getting better. and I'll definitely be paying attention along your journey.
Thank you so much. It was great
No
talking
problem.
to you.
Yes,
We'll
sir.
stay in contact for sure.
Absolutely.
We'll definitely stay in
Absolutely.
contact. All right, man. I'll talk to you later. Heat
All
and
right.
Soul Podcast. Make sure to follow him on social media. Subscribe down low. Follow us on all social media platforms at Heat and Soul Podcast. We're out.
Peace.